Hi everyone! I've been getting some questions about my witchcraft practice, so I thought I'd answer them for you. User Chrissy Haywoods asked on my jar collection video, what do I actually keep in my jars? So I thought I'd show you. This first jar is based on a post that I read on Tumblr where someone's grandmother was giving witchy advice. And she said to keep a jar of glass in your house to protect yourself from envious spirits and people who want to hurt you. This is based on a very traditional witch's jar, which has like glass and nails in it to keep yourself safe. So I took this old candle jar that I had finished burning down and filled it with sea glass that I collected when I was living in Japan. Then I just dressed up the outside to make it look nice. Witchcraft is like 80% aesthetic at least. Like we love looking witchy or pretty as best we can. And this one I just use as a general protection spell. Another spell jar I have is my prosperity jar. This one I dressed up with some gold glitter on the outside and a lucky cat charm, and I keep spare change that I find in here, and also some citrine and pyrite for attracting wealth to myself. I also keep I'll show you. I keep a packet of salt in here. Salt is very protective, so I use this to protect my assets. And I, again, just made it look nice because who says witchcraft can't be pretty? This big jar I have back here is filled with dried rose petals that I am saving. I want to try making my own incense, loose incense, not stick. And so I started drying out some rose petals for it. And this jar smells incredibly strong. It actually smells kind of like honey almost. And yeah. Another jar I have here, I got this purely because I liked the way it looked. It's an old apothecary style jar and I absolutely love it. And it contains some rose tea. And I may or may not actually drink the tea, or I might try using the tea for a bath, or I may dry this or grind this up and use it as incense as well. But I really love the jar, and once the tea is gone, whatever I do with it, I'm also going to reuse the jar as well. That's another big part of witchcraft is repurposing things. You can see a lot of these jars here are old jam jars that I just like the shape of or just work. This bottle hasn't been fully finished yet. It's actually still empty, and once I finish the netting on the bottom of this, I'm actually going to be keeping moon water in this old bottle. So it looks lovely. This jar looks like it's empty, but you can see it has a tiny bit of water in there. This bottle was a little bit more full before, and I had collected stormwater in it. Stormwater is often very strong and energetic in witchcraft spells. This big jar back here, I had started and need to actually finish folding paper lucky stars. Sometimes you hear stories about folding lucky stars or lucky cranes, and when you fold 1,000 of them, you get a wish. And I only have about 20 in here right now. It's a long work in progress. And I had engraved the lucky stars on the jar myself. I do keep some jars for purely non-witchcraft purposes though. Like old bottles I use to store bracelets that I've made. And while some of these bracelets do have witchy purposes, mostly I just like the long neck of this bottle to actually hold on to my bracelets. Another cool bottle I have is this calming jar. I found several posts online about how to make little calming jars with some glitter and glitter glue in a bottle with water, and you shake it up and let it sit and you watch it until all the glitter settles down to the bottom. I have a lot of anxiety issues, and just having something pretty like this to watch settle is actually really calming. I have a couple more of these protection jars too. These two are actually gifts I'm going to be giving to some dear friends of mine. This is a purification jar that I made. It has salt, rosemary, sage, and little quartz gemstones in here. And it's used as just like a quick cleansing ritual. So say you have a little item that you want to clear bad energies from. I'm just using this as an example. So you just can put your item right in there, and you can shake it up a little bit and leave it for however long you feel is necessary and you think it is perfectly cleansed. It could be just a quick wash like that, or you could leave it overnight and let it sit longer. Of course, you want to make sure that everything you put in there is safe to be in contact with salt. But yeah. This one back here is currently just holding these marbles. I'm working on a plan for these, or I may actually turn this into some sort of jar spell to make sure I don't lose my marbles. But yeah, for now, it's just pretty and keeping them somewhere where I won't lose them. This bottle right here is actually filled with fake blood that I made for some of my other videos. And I decided to, this one's actually super glued shut too. I decided to keep a bottle because of how important vampires are to me. I love them dearly. I love the lore and so many things involving vampires. And my main OC that I cosplay as and write stories with, she's a vampire. So I'm always involving her in things that I do. And so I keep that there. And this is just made with, this is totally fake. It's made with corn syrup, cocoa powder, and red food coloring. So it's also totally edible. And the last bottles I have here that actually have something in them are these little gemstone bottles. And this one has turquoise in it. This one has tiger's eye. And this one has my birthstone for January, garnet. I picked these up at a little gemstone store that I used to live near, which unfortunately I don't live near anymore, so I can't go there to get more. But these were actually probably some of the first little corked bottles that I ever had in my collection. And I just love them. They're so cute. I might use these little gemstone chips in spells, or I might just keep the bottles as is. Some of these empty bottles I do have plans for. Like for these, I have plans to make homemade writing ink, but others are still just purely decorative. And I'm not sure if I'll actually put anything in them or not, or who knows. Alright, and that is everything I currently keep in my jars. If I make any more, perhaps I'll make another video. Or if you have any questions you want to ask, I can answer them in a video, or perhaps I'll go live one day. So thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!